this part we are going to create a starter service by extending IntentService. So for this let's start a new Android Studio project, and let me name this as started services by IntentService. So it is quite long name, but for the demonstration purpose it doesn't matter. So let me hit next and then API 14. Okay, let's hit next and choose the empty activity, hit next and then finally finish. So the Android is going to build the project for us. Android Studio has successfully created project for us, and for the first thing that I want to do is I want to delete this text view and place the button here at the center of the screen. So and I want to rename this text as start a service. Okay, start a service, and its button name is ID. Now whenever I click this button, I want to start a starter service using or extending by IntentService. So for this I need to go to the main activity.java class and make my button object here, and I need to link this button with the XML file as find view by id.id.button, and I also need to cast this button. And another thing that I need is set on click listener on this button so that I can get the way to manipulate the code whenever this button is clicked. And now I need to click the Alt plus Enter and implement the onClick listener interface and override its method, which is onClick. Now I'm going to have a case here and get the ID of this view by getID, and case as I need r.id.button, and in here I need to specify the logic of our program. So for this I'm going to create another Java class, and name is IntentService class. Okay, let me hit OK and extends IntentService class. So since I have extended my IntentService class with the IntentService, I need to override the method of IntentService. So implement methods, and it is on handle.intent. So since we are not binding anything, we will going to leave it as like this, and we need to make a public constructor here, public constructor of IntentService.class, and we are making the constructor in here and implement the super, and I can say a string for debugging purpose. So we can pass anything here, and it is just for the debugging process. And another thing that we need to override is that click Alt plus Enter and then override methods, and you can select the onCreate, onDestroy, onStart command method. So hit OK, and let me just make a small toast here. Toast.make this, and then service is at onCreate method, and specify the toast length. It should be short, and so okay, I can copy the same code in here and here as well. So I just need to change some code here, and okay, I just need to I just need to start the service. So I can do that by creating the intent object. So new.intent this and IntentService class. So start service, And the next thing that we need to do is just go to the manifest folder and go to Android manifest.xml, and here we need to mention this IntentService.class as a service in our Android manifest.xml file. So it's service and its name is IntentService.class, and I can specify the other attributes like Android description, and let me do it like this: string dex service intent. Okay, and just click all plus enter and then create a value for this. So this is a service by extending intent service class for learning purpose. Okay, hit OK then, and now we are good to go. So just hit run, and it is going to make a APK file and install in our emulator. Here is our application up and running. Now let me hit start a service button, and it says service is at on create method, it is on start command method, and it is on destroy method. But hold on, it is the whenever I create the service and without destroying that service, the system is automatically destroying this service. So this is because whenever we create a service by extending intent service class, as the job is done, the service is automatically going to terminate. And we can see this example by just sleeping here for 10 seconds. So thread.sleep for 10 seconds. Yeah. And if you don't understand what I'm doing here, don't worry, I will be telling you everything about thread in upcoming videos. So for now, it says try with run with Dracula Blast. Now when I hit run, you can see this. Now let me start a service. So as soon as I click this button, the countdown begins and it says on start method, and it just waits for 10 seconds, and after then it terminates. Yes, and you can terminate. Now let us do some experiment with this. So let me make this as 20 seconds. So here we go, and let me run this, and it is loading. Now as soon as I hit start service, it is going to do that, and I can go to this developer option and see this service. This is the service that is running, and it is running about 13 seconds. Now let's wait for 20 seconds. 16, 17, 18, 20. As soon as 20, it is going to be terminated, and you can see starter service is not active. So this is the main advantage of creating a service by extending intent service. We don't need to manually terminate our services, and also it doesn't run in the main thread. It has its separate work thread, and it increases the responsiveness of our app also. So thank you for watching, and I hope you got the concept, and I will see you in the next part.